Hi there, my name is Kara-Lynne Dunn, and I'd like to welcome you to my channel at Dunn Reimagined Designs. Today we're going to paint a Seed of Life Lazy Susan in fall colors. We're going to divide our circle into 36 10-degree segments, create circle guidelines with your compass, and then line up your 5-inch Seed of Life stencil with your grid lines. Using a paintbrush, wipe away the excess chalk so your paint is going to stick to your surface. The entire Seed of Life is going to be painted using DecoArt's Dazzling metallics in glorious gold. Load the large end of the green tool with gold paint and put it in the center of the segment that you are doing, and use the small end to drag the paint to the points and along the edges. The Seed of Life in sacred geometry is the universal symbol of creation. It consists of 7 overlapping circles. It is said that it symbolizes the expansion of consciousness that takes place through the integration within that what is outside. It is the central heart of the pattern called the flower of life. I work from the center of the seed outwards, and we'll have plenty of time later to clean up our edges and lines. Using a needlepoint tool like this one that I got at Dollar Tree, I believe, is really helpful to get very defined points and edges on your piece. Once we've completed the seed of life, we're going to define that section with a round of gold dots. Using the large end of the blue tool to create that circle around the seed of life. Here I've used the number 25 dotting tool, and I'm placing a white dot on every fourth line. So there will be 9 dots all the way around, and we're going to come back and top dot them in red, and that will really help that red pop. Here you can see how that red really pops now. Using the large end of the blue stylus, we're placing bright orange dots in DecoArt Americanas, bright orange, on the uppermost part of the true red dots. Then using the large end of the white tool, we're going to walk those dots down on either side. First on the right for me, and then on the left. And down the other side. Our next row of dots is in bright yellow by DecoArt Americana. And we'll be using the large end of the blue tool, and you can walk them down with the large end as well. If you need to switch over and use the small end, that's good too. You'll notice that in between the flowers, I've sketched in some of my design. I don't always do that, but sometimes it just sort of gives me an idea of where I'm going with my patterns. Using the large end of the green tool, we're now going to use Sunny Day to create another layer of petals. Now we're going to start placing some swooshes. So using the true red and the large end of the green tool, we're going to drag swooshes from the tip of the flower petals down, right down to the gold dots. Okay, load your tool with paint and then drag it on down. And if you run out of paint, just add some more. And we try and stay centered all the way down to the gold dots. Now we're going to go in with bright orange along either side of the red swoosh and just bring that down a little bit lower on either side of the red. Here we're going in with the color Tangerine from CraftSmart in their multi-surface satin. It needed a little bit of medium to a little bit of pouring medium because it was a little bit thick. And we're going to be using the same tool. We're going to drag these down a little bit shorter again than the last one and all the way down to the gold dots. Make sure to leave enough room because we're going to fit one more swipe on either side of the tangerine. Our final baby swooshes are in DecoArt Americana saffron yellow, and we're using the small end of the blue tool to squeeze those in. Just use whatever tool is going to work to get that in for you. Now that we have the swooshes done, we're going to go in with our titanium white paint, and we're going to use the large end of the blue dotting tool and place dots on either side of the swooshes all the way around. Now, using the large end of the green tool, we're going to place white dots at the top of those petals. And then we're going to use the large end of the blue tool to drag the swipes down on either side. And once we've done that, we're going to create a separation of patterns by using the large end of the green tool and placing gold dots in a circle around this pattern. Now I'm taking a wipe and cleaning off the chalk marks, and then I'm cleaning up the details with my fine liner and the black background paint. Using True Red, I've placed red dots in the center of the flowers and the seed of life. Using the number 15 tool and then the number 9 for the edges. We're using the number 23 tool to place sunny day dots on every other line. And watch her spin. Our first row of dots will be in Tangerine, and we're using the white dotting tool, the large end for the first dot, and use the small end to walk the dots down the side. Our next row of dots is in the bright orange, and we are using the white tool once again, the large end of the white tool. I am loving these fall colors. Don't they look marvelous? Moving on to the third row of dots, they'll be in True Red. Got the large end of the blue tool, creating the dots at the topmost part of the flower petals, and then we'll walk them down using the large end of the tool as well. After we're finished our red dots, we're going to move on to the swooshes. Using the large end of the blue tool and Sunny Day paint, and we're going to create those swooshes starting at the top of the flower and working all the way down to the gold dots. Look how quickly that was done. Next, we're moving into the bright orange paint. We'll continue using the blue dotter, the large end of the blue dotting tool, to create those bright orange swooshes on either side of the Sunny Day swooshes. Our third set of swooshes is going to be in the color Tangerine, and again they're going to be just a little bit lower than the ones before them, and drag it down to the gold dots. Okay, now we're going to take some titanium white from Golden, and we're going to put our white dots on the bottom of these. And I think, and number 19 I'm going to use. Sometimes you just need a little help from your friend. There's our white. And now we're ready to go on to our last row. Hopefully we can get that in there. We will get it in there. Using the number 23 dotting tool again, we're going to go in with Sunny Day dots. We're going to do exactly the same pattern around a second time here. This was a terrible camera angle, sorry about that, but you get the idea. We're going to get those yellow dots all the way around, and then we can start walking some dots. Now remember I said this was going to be exactly the same pattern on the second row. And it's true, the pattern is the same, but I've changed up the color combination. So instead of starting with the tangerine, this time we're starting with the bright orange. We're using the large end of the blue tool to create these first dots, and then we'll walk those dots around with the blue tool as well. Dot, dot, dot. Still a bad camera angle. As you can see, we went in with a round of the Tangerine dots using the blue tool again, and then we went in with a round of the true red dots and using the large end of the green tool. I had some technical difficulty, and so now we're working on adding some bright orange top dots to the true red in the center of the seed of life. And we're using the large end of the blue tool to add those top dots. And as always, whenever you go about doing these dots, if your dots aren't the same size as mine, then use the size that is the next one down. Just adjust according to whatever it is that you've created on yours. Okay, so always best to wait until your piece is dry to go in and try and do those center dots. So you can see me awkwardly trying to brace my hand so that I can get those dots in correctly. I'm using the number 9 DIY dotting tool to place the bright orange dots onto the red dot. Alright then, now that that's done, let's get back to finishing off that last row of dots in the true red. We're using the large end of the green stylus to run those dots down the side. All right, it's time for those sunny day swooshes. I'm going to put those in the center just like we did on the last row. Use the large end of the green tool and drag it down the center. Try and stay centered so you leave yourself enough room on either side for your other swooshes. Remember, we're leaving enough room at the bottom so we can put in another of the white larger dots down at the bottom of that. So no need to come all the way down. Now we're going in with the bright orange for our next set of swooshes. And here we are now with our final set of swooshes in the Tangerine. Okay, so we're going to add a little more dimension to our top dots by top dotting our top dots. And we're going to top dot the bright orange that was over the true red in Sunny Day. Okay, and I'm using the white stylus there on the edges, and then in the center I'm going to be using the number 7 DIY dotting tool. Awkward. We got it done. All right, now we're going to use the number 19 in the DIY dotting toolkit to create our white dots that are at the bottom of our swooshes on our final row there. And we will be top dotting all of those as well. Don't forget to pop your bubbles. Now we're going to use the number 15 tool to add our bright orange top dots on our true red dots all the way around. Don't forget the bubbles. I just love how the top dots bring it to life. And then you add another one on top of that and it just adds so much more dimension. We're using the number 13 dotting tool to add true red top dots on the yellow dots. Now it's time for gold. The gold on these white dots is going to tie everything back into the center. We're using the number 11 and creating our top dots on the white. I can't wait to get the top dots on the red because I think that will really make a difference to how this looks. Here you can see what a difference it makes adding that yellow top dot onto the orange in the center there. You're going to use a tool that's smaller, several sizes smaller than you used for the orange. And then we're going to go in and do the same here. And add orange onto the red using a smaller tool, a couple of sizes smaller than we used previously. And finally, we're doing our yellow top dots on the last two rows of the perimeter and using the number 7 tool here. It's looking beautiful. Okay, so this is exciting. We've finished painting the piece, and now we'll just go through and do any minor touch-ups that are required. We might need to touch up the black. We might need to touch up other colors if they have splatter on them. Okay, when your piece is fully dry, you'll want to go in with a microfiber cloth moistened with warm water and get rid of all your chalk marks. And then do another check and make sure you don't need to touch up. Let your piece fully dry before varnishing. I use Liquitex high gloss varnish and a 3-inch high density foam brush. And I don't skimp on it. I make sure there's plenty on there. I sign and date the back of my piece with the Artistro gold paint marker pen, and both sides of my piece get several coats of varnish. And voila, we are done. Isn't it beautiful? Thanks so much for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, comment. I'd love to hear your comments. And we'll see you at the next one. Bye-bye for now.